Welcome everyone to the coach's desk with your host, Coach Minzy. How everybody doing? Yeah, big up yourself, people. Thanks for tuning in. The early birds, big up yourself. Um, Definitely really appreciate the support that you have been giving the channel. You know what I mean? And we're expecting some great moves to come about in the future. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, big up yourself. And we have a special guest with us this afternoon in Filippo Silva, better known as Tactical Manager. Yeah, man, he'll be joining us to discuss a few stuff where the matchup between the United States and the Reggae Boys is concerned. That's the quarterfinals of the Gold Cup. Yes, so I'm going to introduce him right now. He's backstage, and I'm going to bring him to the fore right now.
How you
Filippo,
doing?
how you doing, man?
Doing good, doing good. Thank you for
Yeah,
having me. Thank you for having me.
yeah, man. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Thanks for you accepting the you know the
And
invitation
coach,
to be over here.
coach, sorry, what's your name again, coach? Or just call me
Co-
coach.
Coach Minzy, no problem.
Let me just post it here on Twitter real quick. Try to get some
Hmm.
USA fans so they can start some nice debates here. So we can talk a
Yeah,
little bit about Jamaica, about um, the U.S. men's national team, especially because the Americans most certainly want to know more, a little bit more about the team we're going to face.
hmm yeah, man. And welcome to the persons who have logged on already. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. We're gonna be having a little talk. Of course, you know that the two teams progress to the quarterfinal round. US got through by winning their three group games. Jamaica won two and lost one. The final one there a few days ago, and we're looking forward to this game. But before we get into it, Filippo, just briefly introduce yourself to the coaches desk audience.
Okay, so first, thank you for having me here once again. I'm Filippo from Tactical Manager TV here. I work coaching with soccer here. I even work here in Orlando City MLS Club, the youth system that they have, the youth network.
Hmm.
And I was born in Brazil, actually, and then I
Hmm.
grew up in the United States. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm maybe more American at this point. Who knows? But definitely follow both national teams very closely. And that pretty much is a big summary of who I am at this point. In my channel, I mostly cover the United States and CONCACAF. And then from time to time, I'll throw in Brazil there just because of
Hmm.
my roots as well.
Right. All right, at least we have something in common. Just to identify that right now, Brazil is my team at the international level outside of Jamaica.
It's a beautiful game, right? That's what you like to see. A little bit of some
Definitely, yeah, man.
Ronaldinho, even Neymar. I like Neymar. I like him.
Yeah, man, definitely. So you're a coach, you said, right?
Hmm.
Okay, you do a little bit of coaching there. That's good. So you know basically how to break down the game. Hence the name tactical manager. All right. So let's look at what happened in the group stage of for the United States. They won three on the shot. You want to elaborate on those wins?
Yeah, so I'm gonna assume most people don't know what's going on with the U.S., so I'll break it
Hmm.
down slowly.
Yeah,
So
man.
first,
Cool.
this is the United States B minus C team. We're missing all of our starters.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Berhalter has his reasoning for it. I agree a little bit, disagree a little bit as well. But
Mm-hmm.
anyhow, we have a lot of MLS players in the squad. I think it's 19 MLS players, and the rest play abroad, 3 or 4 players. I can go through that. So we start off playing Haiti. And we got a little lucky in that game, to be
Mm-hmm.
fair. Haiti came into the game with some COVID issues, so they were missing 2 key players along with
Yeah.
a couple bench players. We got an early goal, and after that, nothing happened in the game. It was a very
Mm-hmm.
boring game. Shaq Moore, that plays abroad, had a strong performance to help the United States, and we looked very, very good at the back. Our back
Mm-hmm.
line looked good. Our midfield lacks creativity. Up top, we have Jesse Zardes. I mean, you're familiar with many players probably from
Yeah, man.
MLS
Yeah,
in
man.
general. So Jesse Zardes, Daryl DK, a lot of physicality, but not much creativity out of this team. That's not something the U.S. has. The team lacks talent. Defense were good. Second match, we faced Martinique, and it was 6-1, mostly due to the fact that Martinique's just not the not
Not
the
that
best
good enough.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good enough. It wasn't like we looked more fluid in that match. It looked more composed. Greg Berhalter went with three in the back. The first game we went with a 4-3-3 in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
The second game he went with a 3-4-3.
3. Mm-hmm.
And there were some issues with that. The main issue with that was I don't think he used the wing backs to the best of their ability. So when you
Right.
play from the back, you want the wing backs to have the flanks open. He left two guys wide, like Roldan was playing very wide. So Shaq Moore had a terrible performance in that game. First game, Shaq Moore was the man of the match. Third game, he was the man of the match. Second one, he wasn't because of that reason. So it was a
Okay.
tactical mistake out of Coach Berhalter.
Mm-hmm.
But we still won 6-1. Some of the young guys played. Daryl Dike had 2 goals. Gianluca Busio did okay. Eric Williamson. And James Sands from New York City FC has been a pleasant surprise in the back. Now, then we move on to the Canadian game, where we also defeated Canada 1-0. And I think that game was somewhat similar to the Haiti game. We also went with 3 in the back, just like Martinique.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of a weird 3 in the back. So James Sands was our central center back, and he would play as a 6 when we were attacking and as a center back when we were defending. So the shape would change accordingly. And we defeated Canada 1-0. We scored 20 seconds into that game.
Yeah.
Seconds
One of the fastest goal in Gold Cup.
Yeah. And then after that, we did okay for 20, 25 minutes in the game. And then Canada completely outplayed us. And Canada was missing Eustáquio in the midfield. Kyle Laring got injured.
Mm-hmm.
Alfonso Davies didn't come, obviously. We got really outplayed, and I think the ref did help us a little bit. There was 1 or 2 penalties they could have given to Canada, and they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a very iffy win. So I know the United States won all 3 matches in the group stage, but it wasn't pretty, and even debatable if we deserved all 3 wins as well.
All right, cool. I know that your coach, Greg Berhalter, in terms of his selection for this tournament, it was somewhat of a depth development because he wanted to see more players because, of course, you know that the octagonal round is going to be very, very hectic. It's going to be crazy. And you wanted to see more players and all of that. Do you believe that he actually brought in the right players?
Yes and no. So there was, along with that, there were players that he wanted to bring that are in Europe, and he had issues getting them released with the club. So Julian Green, that plays in Bundesliga, we couldn't get him. Conrad de la Fuente was getting a transfer. Chris Richards had issues with Bayern Munich. There were players abroad he couldn't bring. Cameron Carter-Vickers, that plays in the championship. Now he's at Tottenham, I believe. So yes, it is. But at the same time, you follow the U.S. as well. He wants to look into new players, but he continues to play Jackson Yule, Sebastian Lletget, Acosta. We've seen these guys, right? So much of the U.S. that you would think he would put more of the younger. Matthew Hoppe barely played. So he did an okay job in regards to that. He did test out some players like DK, but at the same time, I don't think he brought the best he could. We are missing a few players like Caden Clark could have been here despite the surgery he had. He could have been. He was available. I talked to 2 sources near him that said it, and he even played yesterday. He played yesterday for the New York Red Bulls, so he's good.
Right.
Cade Cowell, that's in camp now, could have been there as well. Chris Mueller from Orlando City could have been there as well. So I don't think he did the best call-up, but some names, congratulations, some names are good to be there. I can name them if you want, but overall, I don't think he did the best job.
But you made mention of the performance, and that is one of the things that we're having. The supporters of the Reggae Boyz are having a challenge with the performance of the team. You might have a win, but at the end of the day, the performance did not really match up to the win. In terms of a strategy, do you believe that? Well, from what I'm understanding is that they're using the 4-3. The 3-4-3 formation. Do you believe that will get them over the line versus the Reggae Boyz team?
Yeah, so let's look into this. So we lost Walker Zimmerman now. He was one of the good defenders we had, and we lost him. So I don't know if Berhalter will change our formation for that. If he doesn't, we're probably going to go for 3-5-2. That's what he changed in Canada. But let's say we go 4 in the back, 3 in the back. I have some concerns when we faced Jamaica. One of them being you guys will have Bobby Reed back. So right there, you have a midfielder that's better than any midfielders we have in our team right now.
Right.
The first thing, that's one concern I have. The second concern I have is you have Leon Bailey on the left. And I know Leon Bailey hasn't been maybe what everyone expected from him so far in Gold Cup. We expected maybe more dominant performances, but I don't like that matchup of Leon Bailey and Sam Vines. I think if Jamaica can get them in isolation, Bobby Reed can feed Leon Bailey. That isolation can be very dangerous for Jamaica. Leon Bailey can have his way on the right wing if that happens. So it's more to do with how Whitmore will set up Jamaica, and more in regards to Berhalter. I think overall the U.S. men's national team is a little more consistent than the Jamaican team. You see a lot of ups and downs from the Jamaican team throughout this tournament.
Right.
I know you guys rested a bunch of players against Costa Rica, but you look at the Suriname game, very strong start, then oscillating throughout the game. You look against Guadeloupe, weak start, and then improving throughout the game.
Yeah.
While the U.S. is more like this. It's
Flat.
just like, it's like the same thing. We don't reach the same level Jamaica is at peak, but we also don't go down to when Jamaica.
Right. So you're basically constant.
Yeah, but not as good as this Jamaican team at peak. That's the way I see it. And the one thing I think Jamaica has to be careful while facing the U.S., and you also notice this, the U.S. scores early.
That's a point I was going to get to, Filippo, because I noticed versus the three teams in that round, they would have gotten off to a flying start. And I'm not certain if that is a strategy of Greg, but I mean, they get off real quick, bam, 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 score a few goals or a goal. And then
mentality.
It's mentality. Explain that a little bit for us.
Yeah, I think what happens essentially is a lot of the teams start the game slow and trying to feel the opponent. The U.S., and this is something among our country very much. The U.S., when it comes to sports, the players are very focused, regardless of the quality. They're very focused, and the U.S. starts the game very wired, ready to go from the first second. And I think that caught Haiti off guard. It caught Canada off guard. So that's something Jamaica definitely has to hold the U.S. for the first 15 minutes, get into the game. Once it's balanced, it's balanced. But they can't start sleepy, right? That's the only thing.
All right, point taken. But when you look at it, though tactical, we have a very bad record against the US team. Mark you though, this would have possibly been one of the weakest team that would have been going up against, barring those games before. So in the Gold Cup quarterfinals, we lost 3-1 to US at one point. We lost 2-0. So that's 2 times we have lost to you in the quarterfinal. Do you think that this history have any bearing on this game with the fact that US quote unquote is a C team, Jamaica is a B team? Do you think it has any bearing on this game coming on Sunday?
So I think past results are not really indicative of what could happen. So if the U.S. had success in the past, it doesn't matter. Different players, right? Different players.
Right.
And let's go back to more recent history. The U.S. beat Jamaica in 2019, 3-1 in the semifinals.
Right.
That game, Jamaica had some players that are here now were there. I remember Hector was there. Leon Bailey was there. Some players were there. Andre Blake. In the U.S. as well, some players were there as well. But remember, the 2 players that led the U.S. to the final were Pulisic and McKennie. They're not here.
Okay, yeah.
So I honestly, and I said this in the channel, before Gold Cup started, I would say that I thought the United States would get eliminated by Jamaica in the quarterfinals. I thought it would have been Jamaican first and U.S. in second. They would play and Jamaica would qualify. Right now, I think it's a little more balanced than I thought originally because I expected a more consistent Jamaican team.
Right.
So are the United States the favorites because of the past results? No, they're not. The U.S. are not the favorites for the match. I don't think so.
So invariably, you really have a concern going forward with this American team. So basically, what you're saying is that they aren't able to win this competition, or they will ride their luck. As you say, they had some help from the officials of the game. So are you saying that they will ride their luck going forward?
I think so. I don't think they had help from the officials to qualify because we already were qualified against Canada. But the officials, the refs, did make some mistakes that could have gone Canada's way, and that led to us winning and getting first place. Do I think we can win the tournament? As most U.S. fans, we don't think we're the favorites to this tournament. We don't think we're the favorites. Do we have a chance? Yeah, we're at home. The team is it's not like we have the worst team also, right? We don't have the worst team. So we do have a chance. We do have some quality players. It really comes down to how Berhalter will go about it too. There's some. So if he goes with Jamaica and he plays Donovan Pines on defense because Zimmerman's injured, I'm worried. I don't know how he'll deal with. I don't know who will start up top for you guys. I don't know if it's going to be Shamar Nicholson. I don't know who'll start, but I don't think he can deal with these players, right? So, do we have a chance of winning? Yes. Are we the favorites? No. If we brought our A team, would we be the favorites? Yeah, I'm very confident on our current A team. I know they're young, but I'm very confident on their talent. This team, a lot of ifs there. I'm just being honest. It's not the team I trust too much. Now, if you ask me who's going to win on Sunday, I'm going to say America. I have to go.
Yeah, definitely. You say that, and I would say the opposite.
Yeah, exactly. We have to go with that. But
yeah,
if we go with who are the favorites for the tournament, despite not convincing, it has to be Mexico right now. I think that's probably the favorites to win. Qatar showed some promise. I think we can say that.
Yeah.
Now, Jamaica needs to stop with this, man. They're just like all over the place in the game. It's like a very good moments, very terrible moments. Just so inconsistent right now. That's the problem.
All right. Looking at both teams going into that match on Sunday. What do you identify from a Jamaica team and a US team that are the keys to victory?
Okay, so I'll start with the US and I'll go to Jamaica. And look, my knowledge on Jamaica is definitely not as much as you, JD, anyone here in the chat that's Jamaican. The US, there's two keys here. One is Berhalter figure out the situation in the back without Zimmerman. So if he can make a compact defense without Zimmerman, that's key, so we can hold it back. The second thing is whether Berhalter will play the Matthew Hoppe and Daryl DK combo, right? We're going to be facing – so you guys got Damian Lowe and Liam Moore. Two fairly physical defenders. So to face those two defenders, Berhalter's going to have to put Daryl DK. That's the guy that can try to body those players and try to work. Along with that, we need to have Matthew Hoppe maybe playing as a deep line forward to try to create. So I'd say those are the key. Strong backline for the U.S. and creative up top with Hoppe and DK. Because I do think that just like Jamaica, I don't think the U.S.'s midfield is very strong. And I also think Jamaica has issues in the midfield too. So I think both teams have issues in that sector of the field. But I think the Jamaican defense is fairly strong. The center backs are a pair. Andre Blake is fantastic. The U.S. is a good goalkeeper, good center back. So it's more about that, whoever will create. Now for Jamaica, as weird as this sounds, and I know many people disagree with this, it really comes down to Jamaica getting Bailey to go. Because I think both teams are very balanced, right? But Bailey is debatably the best player left in this tournament right now. Lozano's out, so he's probably the best player in this tournament right now. If you guys can find him in isolation, create for Bailey, he will get plays. He will get fouls, assists, goals. So if you guys can isolate Bailey with Sam Vines, that can be a key factor. And I think having Bobby Reed will be what could help you guys. Along with, remember, Liam Moore and Lowe have to hold on to DK's physicality, bumping them around there.
All right, so people, you can throw out your question in the chat. I had a little difficulty just now. I did not know it was on private, so that's why the chat was empty and I wasn't paying attention to that. Big up to Josh Simmons, the American in here. We call him over here tactical, the American spy.
He's always talking to me.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so I mean, it's going to be a critical game, Filippo. Well, it's a do or die game. Are there any thoughts that they're harboring in terms of? Oh, before I ask that question, I am hearing that the US team actually are worried about playing this Jamaican team because they are not too certain what to expect. Because as you say, it was a little wavy in terms of how we performed throughout the group stage. Is there any truth to that coming from the US camp?
I don't know about the camp. I haven't asked anyone near the camp about that. I think I personally would have rather played Costa Rica. And I said this before. The main reason is we have been struggling with physicality, our team. A lot of our players, like Busio, is a great player, the one in the super chat, but he's been struggling against physical teams. And Jamaica has technical players, but Jamaica does not. They're not scared of being physical in the game. A lot of them, especially the
Mm-hmm.
defenders. So I do see some disadvantage to that. We'll rely a lot on Daryl DK being able to be physical up top. I don't know how Matthew Hoppe will react to that, even though he's very technical. So I was preferring Costa Rica. I also think Costa Rica is more of a team that plays and lets you play. Jamaica would rely on physicality. At the same time, Costa Rica worried me because of their experience. They're experienced team, so they know how to play here. That's how they get the results done at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the camp is worried about Jamaica in the sense of like, we don't want to play them, but it's definitely not. It's the strongest opponent we're going to face so far. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And are you harboring any thoughts of taking this game to penalty? You think that it will?
I hope
there's
not.
a possibility that it will go to penalty.
There's definitely a chance. Like I said, I think right now it's open, so it's very balanced. It could be a draw and go to. I hope not. I hate penalties when it's my team involved.
Yeah.
I like other penalties, but it could happen. It could definitely happen for this one. Sure.
All right, tactical. There's a question coming in out of the comment section from Karoom Yu. He's asking, what can Jamaica do to win this game against the United States? I'm not certain if you're going to be letting out any of the secrets.
I mean, I don't think Whitmore is going to do anything I say, so I'll just tell you what I think. Like I said, I think Jamaica needs to hold off in the first 15 minutes, not let the U.S. get an early goal. Don't let the U.S. get an early goal. Because when the U.S. gets an early goal, they play this pragmatic soccer and just makes the game boring overall and doesn't let the opponent play. No one plays. It just becomes very boring. We have a strong defense, so hold off those 15 minutes. And honestly, I know a lot of the Jamaicans don't like this because they've been using examples of don't build a team around one player. But honestly, you guys should try to get Bailey in isolation on the wings. You get him in isolation, and he will get the job done, especially against Sam Vines, for example. You might know him from MLS. Bailey should have his way against Sam Vines.
All right. Cool. That's a fair assessment. And another question coming on. What are the strengths and weaknesses of the US? Before you answered, I must say, big up to the persons who came over with Tactical Manager. Yes, he shared it on Twitter, and I see a lot of American flags in the comment section. Thank you very much. Just know that, people, you can subscribe to the Coach's Desk. Yeah, we do Jamaican content, but you can subscribe to know what is happening where Jamaica is concerned. So, yeah, go ahead, Tactical.
Coach, can I address one thing too? Melvin said, Tactical, I watch your channel. I think you're being very diplomatic. Melvin, if you watch my channel, I'm not being diplomatic enough because I did a prediction video before Gold Cup started, and I actually picked Jamaica to beat the United States. You can go watch the video. So I'm not here to, if I think I have to say something to Coach, he knows I'm going to be honest. And I picked Jamaica to beat the United States. Anyone that watched the channel saw that. Now, I did change a little bit of my pick here in the sense of I think now the U.S. has a better chance because I thought Jamaica would be better before Gold Cup started. That's what I thought. But going back to what you asked?
Yeah, man, the question about the strengths and the weaknesses of the U.S. team.
Strengths and weaknesses. So weakness would be our creativity. I think the U.S. lacks a lot of creativity in the midfield and even up top. We struggle to make plays on open play. It's more about trying set piece. I know we scored on open plays, but it was more due to the opponent just sleeping at the game at the time rather than us creating. After that, we don't create much in open play. So that's our main weakness right now. The main strength, I think, is our defense. Even though we lost Zimmerman, which will be a problem, he was one of our best defenders. We've been very solid in the back. Matt Turner has been good on the goal. Miles Robinson has been good. James Sands. The fullbacks have done their job. So I would say our defense is our main strength right now.
All right. And with this question on the board, I think it's from one of your followers. Is there any way Colwell goes instead of Kessler?
Instead of Henry Kessler, probably not. So just so you know what's going on, when Zimmerman got injured, Berhalter called Henry Kessler and Cade Cowell into camp, and he's going to pick one to replace Zimmerman as center back. Cade Cowell is a forward, Kessler's a defender, so he's probably going to pick Kessler. I think the reason he brought Cade Cowell in is Paul Riola might not be healthy, so maybe Cade Cowell will take the spot of Paul Riola. That's what I think.
Okay, and somebody is saying in the comment section, Ricardo Robinson, big up. Football is a mental thing apart from the physical. Yeah, we know that. You can be better on paper, but fail to apply on the field. Do you believe that there's any mental issue in your camp to say that? Well, I asked that question earlier, no, but
Mhm.
to put it more in perspective, are there any mental issues? Because of course, you know that the advantage of the games in the past are important. Because once you call US versus Jamaica, you know we're a nemesis when it comes on to football. Um, and US probably would have had the winning advantage over us. So would that be a mental issue for your team going into this game?
I think it all comes down to how it traces down from the country and the federation itself, right? So
Mhm.
JFF, can we agree that JFF has been a little messy? Do we agree on that?
Say that again.
Do we agree that the JFF has been a little messy? Like
Oh
it,
yes, definitely. We
yeah.
can agree on that.
So I
Yeah.
think it translates down, right? The US Soccer Federation does have issues, but I think the US does a good job on getting the players focused. This is what we need to get done, and the culture and everything. That's how the US men's national team has always been, right? And that's why even when we had weaker teams, we gave Mexico, that was a lot better, some trouble. And Jamaica, like I said, inconsistency comes down to preparation. The talent in the Jamaican team, there's talented players there,
Hmm.
but when the team is that inconsistent, it could be due to the coach. And you guys have had Whitmer for a while, I believe.
Hmm.
Um, it could be down to that. I don't know the main issues. I don't know Jamaica well enough to speak on it, but the mentality is key. And like I said, the U.S. has won games this Gold Cup due to starting the game off very strong, and that comes down to mentality.
Yeah, man. In terms of let me see if I could find this question. All right, here it is. What do you think of Corey Burke as our forward in this game? He plays in the MLS. He's going up against some MLS players. He's been successful in the MLS. Will he be a threat to the US team?
I thought Shamar Nicholson would have been a better option. I've heard from other Jamaicans too saying that Corey Burke would start, the Philadelphia
Hmm.
Union forward.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm personally think Shamar Nicholson would be a better option. That's probably who I would go with. Also, Corey Burke. I think our defenders, our players will know him pretty well, especially because they all play in the Eastern Conference as well, right? New York City FC, Atlanta United. They know Corey Burke fairly well. So he's from the Philadelphia, right? I'm not saying something wrong. Corey Burke,
Yeah,
Philadelphia
man.
Union.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
correct.
Philadelphia Union. So yeah,
Hmm.
I think I would go with Shamar Nicholson or Andre Gray. Andre Gray has been playing up center forward for you guys or winger. Where has he been playing more?
Center forward.
Yeah, I would go one of those probably. A little bit different, something where our center backs are not used to, the U.S. center backs.
Okay. All right. Cool. Again, there's a question from Shutter. Big up yourself, Shutter, with that super chat. Who has the better goalkeeper?
I think Andre Blake is the best goalkeeper in MLS right now, so I would go with him.
Is he the
Um,
best in the region as well?
the region, no. Keylor Navas.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Keylor Navas is the best goalkeeper in the region, but I think Andre Blake is the best goalkeeper in MLS, and our other goalkeeper is Matt Turner. So I think Andre Blake is better in that sense.
All right, I'm just gonna drop the link just for a second. Um, I think there's someone who wants to come on to ask your question. I don't think he wants to stay in the chat. He wants to come on. So there's the link in the comment section, people. You can
Mhm.
come on and ask the question. So Shatta is saying that question that you asked was answer. That was a great question in terms of the goalkeeper.
Mhm.
All right, I'm just checking through some of the comments. Give me a second here, people. Comments are coming in very quick.
Yeah, I think also Jamaicans are overreacting a little bit to Nicholson, right? They're saying I'm picking Shamar Nicholson so you guys can win, but does anyone think that Burke is that great of a player too? I don't know. You guys got to like understand that you can't overreact to one performance, a good one or a bad one, because if we're gonna go based off that, we're gonna say Leon Bailey's not good because he didn't have one
right,
good
right,
performance.
right.
He's still the best player in the team, so you can't overreact, guys.
Yeah, that's true. So the link has been dropped in the comment section, and somebody is saying, Thelma Moncrief is saying that Nichols has one bad game and all of a sudden he's
Yeah.
trash. So that's what that person is saying. But sometimes players have a bad one, and definitely you know that they will bounce back. I believe that from time to time the coach can give them in a situation like that a one-on-one, so that they can, come and express themselves and probably talk
Also,
about what is happening.
let me add one thing here too.
Hmm.
When you're playing soccer or football, as we call in Jamaica, uh, as weird as this sounds to many of you, anyone that has played, it's easier to defend than to attack.
Very much so. And,
All right,
and
so
I'm happy that you brought out that point, tactical, because sometimes people don't know the structure of the defensive end of things. It's very easy to sort out, but the dynamics of attacking is more difficult than that. So continue on that. Sorry to
So
this.
what I was trying to expand there is
Hmm.
if you have a center forward that the defense doesn't know him, it's an advantage to the center forward. Now, when you have a defense that knows the center forward and the center forward knows the defense, it's an advantage to the defense. It's a lot harder to create and score than it is to defend. That's why we don't have that many goals. That's just a fact.
Hmm. Yeah, man, very good point there. So people, you hear it, that you see, to set up a defensive structure on a team, it's more easy to do so than the dynamics of attacking. Let me see this. Balakar and Tactical agrees on Shamar. Yeah, man. So, yeah, man, Shamar is a good baller, but he just had a good game and the person just came out at him, hitting him hard. You know what I mean? So, people, the Tactical doesn't have a lot of time here. So, I'm going to try and pin the link. Yes. He doesn't have a lot of time. So, if I'd start Nicholson over Burke, ah. I would definitely do that. If you're asking me that up front, I'll do that. You know why? Shamar Nicholson has a very good goal scoring record, and I think he has a good one against the United States. So I'll definitely start him. What say you on that one, tactical?
Well, it goes back to what I said. You're going to put Burke, a player that the center backs know very well, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot easier to defend when you know the player, right?
All right.
And you're going to put a player that they don't constantly see. That's the main reason. Now, look, it's much easier for me to talk about the U.S. team that I'm constantly watching than Jamaica. Jamaica, I watch them, occasionally. Gold Cup, I watch. I'm not watching Jamaica's friendlies. I'm not following how Nicholson is doing abroad.
Mm-hmm.
So it's much easier for me to talk. So I could be saying something very stupid at the end of the day, even though it seems like you agree in that sense. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm no Reggae Boyz expert.
All right. So Joshua is saying that Cade Cowell would could be very effective in this type of game, but I'm not sure if Berhalter would start or even play him. What are your thoughts?
So the thing with Kate Cowell is, one, he's 17. The guy's a teenager.
Yeah, yeah.
Two, he just arrived in camp. He just arrived this week. So it's a little bit like you're going to put in a 17-year-old to play this physical Jamaican team, and he just arrived, just got in a couple practices. I don't know if it's the right game for the kid, right? Just a little risky.
All right. So tactically saying it could be a pressure moment, like with soccer in that penalty
Yeah.
shootout against England, against Italy. Sorry. Man Simpson is saying, get Dominic Rich over here. Oh man, I'm not gonna read that comment. I'm not gonna read that comment. So people, you asked me to drop the link, and I dropped it, and no one seemed to be interested in coming on.
They don't like
But
me.
all right, let me ask this question, tactical. You spoke about the strength and weakness of US. Is there a main player on the US team that we should look out that can actually change the game against this Jamaica team?
I think if he
And
plays,
sorry, I would want you to answer that for the Reggae Boyz team as well.
I think for the US, if he plays, because Berhalter keeps putting him in out, it would be Matthew Hoppe. He's the most technical player in this team by a lot. Creative, also can drop deep to play make, can score goals. Did very well in Schalke for 6 months, very young. I think he's the player that I would definitely watch out for.
Mm-hmm.
in the sense of providing something different. And again, I'm gonna sound repetitive, but
Yeah.
from Jamaica, I'm always gonna say Leon Bailey. The guy, what did he have in the Bundesliga? 15 goals and 10 assists.
Yeah, thereabout. Yeah, man.
That's
That's a
enough,
good
right?
season.
I think that's enough. If the guy can do that in the Bundesliga, he can do it in Gold Cup or CONCACAF. I know he's struggling a little bit in a few games. I think it's probably mostly due to the coach than Bailey itself, or maybe desire from Bailey to be here, whatever it is. But I would say again, it's Bailey. Just like Canada, I'm going to say Alfonso Davies, as
Mhm.
always.
All right. We have Alex joining us, but before Alex speaks, Shutter with another super chat. He said, "Tactical Hop is the best scorer in the game." Is that he's asking a question?
For the US,
Mm-hmm.
probably right now, yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Alex, go ahead.
Tactical. First question I have for ask you. I know you live in Ireland. I live in Florida too. Went
Mhm.
to the Islander game. I didn't see at the Islander game. It's funny. It's your stadium and your environment. I thought you was gonna go watch the Jamaica game.
Mhm.
I don't know if you're busy. I know you're a busy man and you have all of that stuff. You have all your business to do. But as I was saying, I was at the Costa Rica game.
Mhm.
I was sitting at section 135. You know section 135.
Mhm.
Yes, I was sitting right there at the game, and as I was saying, that 3/4 time that most of the Costa Rica fans were quiet. I think Jamaica play a very good football. I think they put it on the floor and play it very good. And if Bobby Reed was there, they would annihilate that Costa Rican team. And if they create a chance, they would have finished. But I was saying though, did you watch the championship game last year when Daryl Dike went up against Liam Moore? I think Daryl Dike was marked out that game. He had him in his pocket. So that's
Mhm.
one of the things I think if they play Daryl Dike, they're gonna know. Liam Moore is
DK came off the
known.
bench, right? He came off the bench that game.
I think so. I don't. I
Yeah.
think no. I think most of the game he started for Barnsley though.
No, no. I remember that game against Reading, right?
Yeah.
DK came off the bench. He came off the bench.
Yeah, but as I was saying though, DK is physical, but I don't. I think Jamaica have one of the two best centre backs in the region. I don't know if you could watch Damien Lowe, but I think he's one of the top 10 centre backs in the region, hands down. He's up there with all of these players. I think Damien Lowe would transfer you guys defense right now. If you watch him, I think Jamaica has one of the best defense toward the tournament up against Mexico. So I'm looking for a good game against USA, but I think the Bobbery is going to be a vital issue for USA. And I heard everybody talking about DK and Happy, but my player to look at Sebastian Legend. I think everybody need to look at Sebastian Legend though. That's my question.
Yeah. So Sebastian Lletget, I have a couple problems with his game. I think he slows down the game for the US too much, passes it back. But the thing with Lletget is, and it's a good point to bring up Lletget, is despite the criticism, the guy here and there gets a goal for the United States, gets an assist every time. The performances are not the best, but he finds a way to get a goal going from a lot of time, and he will start.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
he will start. I'm not a big fan, but he is a player to watch out. The reason I say Matthew Hoppe is actually because of Daryl DK. So I think DK will not be very effective, and I agree with him. I think Moore and Lowe should be able to deal with DK's physicality, but I think DK will be annoying to mark. Right, he will be pushing them around, and that can free up Matthew Hoppe. And Matthew Hoppe, if you give him time and space, he can create plays, and that's something Jamaica has to watch out for. He's also young, fast. I don't think Hector will have enough speed to deal with Hoppe. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
Speedy can deal with Hoppe. Maybe you guys can play him
Yeah.
eventually. But we don't know if Matthew will start. We
But
don't know.
but what if the case they start Jesse Zardes? Because I know you don't like Jesse. I watch your stream, tactical. I watch
Yeah.
your stream. I know you don't like Jesse Zardes. But what if the case they start Jesse Zardes and Daryl DK? What your thoughts on that? Because I know you're gonna go right. You and Levy Yanks always rant about those players.
I talked about it. If he starts Zardes with Hoppe, it's not as bad. But DK and Zardes are two players that stay in there, go in the box, and they need someone to feed them, right? They need creation. So you put two players like that, it's not going to work. And we saw that against Canada. It was so bad. It was so bad against Canada. So starting both of them together, no. If Zardes starts with Hoppe, not my favorite combo, but it wouldn't be too bad. I would say.
But What about John?
Hold on, Alex. Let me ask a question. Then you can chime in back with your question. There's a question in the comment section. How much do you rate your coach, Greg Berhalter?
You mean like from 1 to 10, or just?
Yeah, 1 to 10 is good. One or overall, whichever you desire.
I'm gonna give Berhalter a 3 out of 10.
I was expecting that.
Seriously?
I was expecting that if you watch his stream, you
have to
know
elaborate.
That.
Elaborate.
Well,
isn't he a pro license coach? Or,
Look. The thing with Berhalter is this. People argue saying, "Oh, he won Nations League," but look at the United States' team when compared to many other teams in CONCACAF right now. He's lucky of the generation he has. And he makes a lot of questionable tactical decisions and player selection. And one thing I noticed from Berhalter, and I want you both to notice this at the game. Let's say the United States is in trouble against Jamaica. We're losing or tying, and Jamaica's dominating. He takes forever to make a sub or a change. And do you guys know why? He doesn't know what to do. He just doesn't know what to do, so he takes forever. That happened to Canada. Mexico, in Nations League. Tata Martino puts Diego Lainez at the 78th minute. Tim Ream is playing as a left back at that point, and he literally tells Diego Lainez, just go at Tim Ream. 1 minute later, Diego Lainez, that hasn't scored a goal for Real Betis in 1,000 days, he scored a goal in 1 minute in that game.
Yeah, so I think Tim Ream was if they play, I think they play Tim Ream in the World Cup qualifiers. You guys are gonna have a big trouble. And one thing I have to say tactical about USA, some of these players do not play in CONCACAF. And I heard Levy Yang saying experience don't go a far way and technical ability. I think experience goes a far way. Because if you don't have experience in this region and you go carry Josh Sargent and Reina to play these 3 matches in 3 days, which they normally don't play in CONCACAF region, they're gonna be in big trouble against some of these teams, and the fans and all they're gonna manage or all of this in case is gonna be managed. So
yeah,
I'm saying that I think USA will qualify for World Cup.
Right?
Huh?
There has to be a balance so if you have a player that's not very experienced and then you have one that's experienced, but this player not experienced is so much better, like Giovanni Reina, you can't leave him out, right? You can't leave him out.
No, definitely. Yeah. But how are you gonna manage that situation though when he goes into that? How are you gonna manage that for Rand?
Well, but remember, Pulisic does have CONCACAF experience. He played in the last qualifier. He played a Gold Cup. John Brooks has experience. Zach Steffen has experience. We are going to play maybe Miazga. He has experience. We have players with experience. Weston McKennie has experience. We do have players there. And you just hope that these other guys like Reina, just the technique, the ability of these guys just surpasses that. I don't think. Does Leggett have experience? I don't think Leggett has experience.
Yeah, you have experience. He played a couple Gold Cup back before. So
he played one Gold Cup.
Two Gold Cup, right? From 2017.
He played one. Leggett played one, I think.
Well,
he never played in qualifiers.
No,
Leggett never played. No, he never played. So the whole experience thing, it's what we talked about in Pete's channel, 11 Yanks.
It's kind of overrated.
If you're good enough, you're old enough. That's it.
Yeah.
True.
All right, check out this one on the screen again. Shutter. I think Busio is a great player. Why don't you? That's towards tactical. Yeah.
No, I think he's a great player.
I don't think he offered nothing defensive though to your team, and I heard you talk about it on your live stream.
Yeah.
He's not good defensively, and I think against like big players, if he comes against Hector, I think Hector will body him off the ball and take the ball away from him. Busio is very skilled though. I can tell you that for sure. He's technical. I like how he passes the ball. He moves off the ball.
He's also 19.
Yes, he's a very good player. I really rate him. But I don't think you guys need to play Zardes no more. I think you guys need to play DK more.
Yeah,
DK, and Sargent. I don't think Sargent's on DK level. I think DK is the man you guys need to go with. Sargent is not performing time he plays for you guys. He get chance to score. I don't know what's going on with Sargent. What's going on with him? You get where I come from? I think
maybe he's not as good. Maybe he's not as good as we thought he was.
Yeah. All right. There's another question here, tactical. How is Dyke injured? Does he start tomorrow? And with Zimmerman out, what you think it's most Jamaica to win the game, even with the USA B team playing, even though USA is still playing faster than Jamaica?
So Daryl DK, I think he's fine because he got hurt, but he stayed in the game. And I saw some videos. It seems like he's practicing. So I think he's fine. The game is not tomorrow. The game is Sunday, by the
Yes,
way.
Sunday.
So he still has more time to recover. Walker Zimmerman is confirmed to be out, and that is a big benefit to Jamaica because he was one of our bright spots, Walker Zimmerman, in the group stage. But maybe Greg will change the formation to 4 in the back, and he'll play Miles Robinson and James Sands, and they both have been very good as well. So it really depends on what Berhalter does. If he plays Donovan Pines, then just give the win to Jamaica at that point.
Pines is not good. Let me tell you that right now. I watched
Yeah.
the game over it, and Pines make a lot of mistakes against like Andre Gray and the guys that play in the championship.
Yeah.
I think Pines will get bullied. I'm telling you this right now. And Sam Vines, I think Sam Vines are good group stage. I think he played very good. I expect ball game coming against Leon Bailey. I think it's gonna be a great matchup. They can isolate him against Leon Bailey. I think you guys going to be in a lot of problem.
It depends on how we cover, right? Depends on the coverage.
All right, so Tactical, if you were the coach of the Jamaican team, how would you approach this US team?
Man, I hope Whitmore's not watching this. No.
Well, we're not certain, but
so one thing I noticed with Greg Berhalter's team is, and this is not the players, this has to be Berhalter because we've seen different players in the same problem. The US struggles a lot to defend in transition against any opponent. Every time we play in transition, we struggle a lot. And different players, A team, B team, C team, Olympics, it just seems like it's more of a coaching issue. So if Jamaica is smart about it, even if they think they're a better team, which considering it's Jamaica's B-ish team with some of their best players against the US's C team, the Jamaican should attack, but they should try to play a little bit out of the back, like let the US attack and try to attack in transition, counter the US. The US really struggles in transition, in isolation play. So if they can find that and try to find Bobby Reed to try to feed Leon Bailey, Andre Gray, whoever's playing up top at that point, that would probably be the best way to approach this game. Based on Berhalter's past.
And I see that. I see that against in the Haiti game. Tactical. I heard he was ranting in the Haiti game. I was watching a live stream when Haiti almost got a chance to score. I think Haiti could have won that game. You know.
Yeah, I told him in the beginning of the stream. We got a little at times.
Jonathan Lewis. Oh my God, that guy, man.
Joshua rate Berhalter 3.5 to, you know. So I mean it's kind of funny doing Tactical, because when we are on here as content creators as well, and there are persons who speak very strongly of our coach and give him a hard time. And it's the same thing everywhere. Once the team is not performing like the fans would want to see it, then definitely the fans are going to speak out. The content creators are going to speak out. So I can't understand why some persons get all in their feelings when we grade a player, when we grade a coach and all of that. It's nothing personal. It's just based on what was seen. You know what I mean? So I don't think persons who are watching who are on the other side should take this personal.
Coach, before I go,
and we can't think. Yeah,
go ahead, Tactical.
Before I go, Tactical, I want to tell you, thanks, Coach, having me. Tactical, there's a big respect for you to come over Coach's decks. I really appreciate it. And on Sunday, it will be a good game. I love when Levy Yanks rant, though, to be honest. It's fun. You make me laugh. But Tactical, big up yourself, Coach, big up yourself.
Big up, Alex.
I hope you guys have a nice stream. We're watching, okay?
All right, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead, Tactical, in answering that point.
What was it again? Say it again.
Yeah, we were talking about the content creators talking, and person shouldn't take it personal. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, so you're representing Jamaica. I'm representing the US. I think you want the same thing the fans for your country want. You want the team to be successful. You want it to move forward. And we approach it in different ways. So some of us might be more critical. Some of us might be more supportive of like, yes, let's keep going. Some of us might criticize more. And I think everyone plays a little bit of a role. what we can't have is something that Pete says a lot from 11 Yanks. He says we can't have cheerleaders for mediocrity, right? You can't see
Exactly.
something mediocre and just be like, yay, good job. No, if it's crap, it's crap. If it's good, it's good. And you have to call it how it is. And at the end, we all have the same goal for our nations. I want the U.S. men's national team to win. I'm going to be critical until they get that. You're going to do the same for Jamaica.
Exactly.
That's what it is. People think that we're robots here, but we're just humans as well, reacting to what we're seeing. And if we're happy, we're happy. If we're sad, we're sad. If we're angry, we're angry.
Exactly, and I'm happy that you brought that point out. Joshua is saying we should give the win to the Reggae Boyz. That's US if they start Jackson Yulee. What say you?
If they start Jackson Yule, if we start Jackson Yule, Jamaica, congrats. I'll just end the stream and I'll just say, good game, Jamaica. You guys got this. Well deserved.
Unfortunately, we don't know if that will happen because they have not named the team as yet. Yeah, man. Definitely, it was really a pleasure having you, Tactical. Let me see if I could get some more questions out before you go. By the way, how do you rate our coach?
So I don't think I'm the best to rate your coach because I mean he's been around for a while. I remember him Whitmore from like hasn't he been like he came back, right? He was years ago and he came back.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I like to hold coaches accountable when the team is not consistent. He needs to keep the group together, focused, however way he can. And I think Jamaica is very inconsistent from what I see. Too many ups and downs. So I would rate him low as well. But I don't think it's fair for me to put actual number into it and rate him poorly or highly because I just don't know the guy well enough.
Okay, so that's fair enough. You're critical with your manager and because you know him. But that's fair. I like that answer, definitely. Any more questions in the comment section you want to ask, Tactical? The man has to go to work.
If you have anything else to say, I can stay up to like 3:05, like 5 minutes, 3 more minutes, because then I have to I have to set up and start heading to work soon. I have to leave around 3:50, but I had to eat something, get ready to go.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, if anyone has anything else to talk about, I'll gladly talk about. The chat has been pretty cool. Respectful for the most part.
I'm alive is saying that we should really continue this after the match, but we know that whenever you have your watch along and it ends, you go over to 11 Yanks for your reaction. So I'm not sure if that will happen. It's probably a day after the match or something like that.
Yeah, a day after I can. After we usually cover the U.S., the Americans there have to go. We do it at Tactical Manager. We go to 11 Yanks to finish the whole coverage. And by then I'm drained. It's like 4 hours streaming. I'm tired as hell.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Let me see if you can answer this question. In terms of our little magician, Maggie, what do you think about him?
So I haven't watched much of him. You know, many talked about him attacking midfield. Apparently, he replaced Bobby Reed, right? When Bobby Reed had COVID, and he did well. But I watched one game with this guy. Looked good, but I don't know. I need to watch the players. I don't like to judge players on one game for both ways.
Right. Definitely, yeah. Exactly. So Shatta is saying that shout out to us. Thanks for a great discussion. Respect, Shatta. All right. So, are you worried about Qatar?
Define worried.
I mean, do you think that they well, I'm trying to interpret this for what's the name? Elkin. In terms of, do you see them as a great threat to any other teams moving forward in the competition?
I mean, if I'm going to be worried, it has to be someone playing the U.S. We're not playing Qatar right now. I'm worried about Jamaica right now. I'll worry about Qatar after the team, but I'll change the way he asked it. Did Qatar look good? Yeah, Qatar looked good in the group stage. But remember, they played Honduras, and Honduras actually didn't have Ellis wasn't playing because he's injured. He broke his toe. Kyoto got injured early in the game. Figueroa wasn't there. Rigoberto Rivas is at the Olympic qualifying. So they defeated Honduras, but that's not Honduras. That was like a B Honduras squad, right? So I still have my questions on this Qatari team. They did very well at the Asian Cup. They won it. But I watched them in Copa America in 2019, and they were trash. They finished in last place. So I still have some question marks in regards to this team.
All right. Do you have any opinion on Jamaica's attempt to recruit players from England?
See, unlike L3 fans, because they apparently hate dual nationals, I'm all for it. But here's the thing: Jamaica needs, just like the United States, I say this thing, get as many dual nationals as you can to make the team stronger. But at the end of the day, what matters is development. You got to work on developing players
Right,
because
right,
you can get these dual nationals like Mikel Antonio. He's 30. How long are you going to have him for? You
right,
need to
right, right.
develop players. But yes, now just one side note: you guys are not getting Mason Greenwood. Just to leave that out.
Well, I didn't have it on my agenda, so we
Yeah.
know that it's gonna be difficult, very difficult. But you think there's a football identity under Greg Berhalter?
No, no.
People, there you have it. Tactical manager is very critical of his coach, and when we as Jamaicans do it, it's an issue. You know what I mean? And I believe that this man would have had the success. He won the Nations League. He has been doing pretty well. But tactical manager is just simple not a fair with him. He's not too liking him in terms of his tactics and development and all of that. So
Player selection is the
player
main
selection, you see? All right. So the quality of the players that should be joining the national setup. How do you feel, sorry, about seeing the new additions that we have here in Jamaica? Quite similar to the other question, the first one.
Yeah, the dual national, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good for the region, right? It's good for everything. Having quality players like Mikel Antonio. I guess you guys are getting Nathan Redmond as well, maybe Mason Holgate, and other players that you got. Liam Moore right there. Who else was there? Even Tony that you guys are trying to get as well. It adds value, but at the end of the day, what we really need in CONCACAF is better development. We need to start developing a bunch of players on our own. Mexico does a fairly good job on that, to be honest. The US is improving, but a lot of the Caribbean region countries do struggle with it, to be fair.
All right. Somebody wants to know if you used to play the game, one, and two, which team are you coaching, and what is your win ratio result right now?
So professionally, no, never played professionally. I'm 27 also. I'm still young. So I played DA in the United States. I played Development Academy up in New York. So I did with some guys that were pretty damn good. Went on to play first year in college, but that's as much as I went. And then I played a little bit here in Orlando at UPSL, which is like a amateur semi-pro league. Some teams make,
right.
Yeah, it's more amateur, but some people get paid, some people don't. In regards to coaching, I coach Orlando City Soccer School. So it's in Orlando City. So Orlando City has the academy, the main academy, and then they have they have 3 soccer schools in Orlando that are meant to feed the academy, and expand the branding and get more soccer in Orlando. So I am a head coach on the soccer school at Celebration. So in regards to winning record, we have just friendly matches, no tournaments there. It's more focused on player development, young players, rather than winning. The academy does go for wins. So that's where I work. So the MLS club, Orlando City.
All right. And could you tell us which position you used to play when you played football?
So I played mostly central midfielder, and then they moved me to the winger because I'm not very big and I was a little quicker. So they moved me to the winger, but I played mostly in the midfield. When I moved here from Brazil, they put me as a central midfielder.
Okay. So you have a little Brazilian flair in your feet, right?
A little bit, because I learned how to play there, right? I moved here when I was around 14, 15. I was a kid. I was here, so yeah.
Yeah, definitely. He has only about 4 more minutes, guys. So you can drop some more questions. We don't want to keep him long. We don't want him to be late for work. But definitely, Tactical will be back, people. After the US game, probably about Monday or so, he'll be back to discuss what we have started here after the game. It would be a lot to talk about. I hope that it will go in the favor of Jamaica, so we'll hear Tactical rant here.
I'm not gonna rant. I'm not gonna rant.
Any more questions, people?
I saw one. My favorite Brazilian player,
right?
So I don't know if they're asking all time or now. I'll just assume it's all time, right? So all time, my favorite player is Ronaldo Phenomenon, the R9. That's my favorite Brazilian
R9.
player.
Yeah, he's the big man. Trust me.
Yeah, that guy was not. That guy was no joke, and they're saying both. So my favorite player right now is Neymar. I know he gets a lot of heat, but I think it's very underappreciated how good Neymar actually is.
Yeah, Neymar gets a lot of heat because I think he goes to the ground a lot, and I think it's because of his close skills. Persons tend to, tackle him a little bit harder than the norm. So
yeah, he got a bad rep for diving, and he used to dive a lot more than he does now. But then it just caught on, and people just keep bringing it up at this point. But he's a super skilled player, great player.
All right, so there's a question there. What is your opinion on the USL? Do you think we should be sending player to the USL? Is it a top league?
What does he mean by we should be sending players to the USL? Jamaica?
Meaning, in Jamaica, we oftentimes talk about players going to the USL league.
So I don't know how the Jamaican league is to compare, but this is what I'll tell you. USL is okay for development if you're like 17, 18, 19. Past that, you need a tougher league.
Right.
20, you need to start looking for a tougher league at that point.
Yeah, man, definitely. That's we have been saying the same thing. It's a development league, but some persons think otherwise. But good to hear from you. This man is a goat of the USA vlogging when it comes on to the United States of America men's national team. He's the big man over there. Doing some good work along with 11 Yanks. They partner from time to time. They're doing a great job. So big up to a tactical manager. Let me see if I could find one more question. Oh, somebody wants to know your opinion on Michael Hector. Do you think he's a very good player? He's a mediocre player, or just to share your opinion on that?
You see, I didn't see him play much in the Premier League. I did follow Fulham, but it seems like he wasn't all that in. In CONCACAF, I think he's a fine player for CONCACAF. That's all I have to say. I don't think he's anything special, but he's a fine player for CONCACAF and probably the best you have for that position right now.
Okay, cool. People, you heard it here. All right, Steph Ewan, big up yourself, Steph Ewan. Gentlemen, what do you think about the new talk about combining CONMEBOL and CONCACAF tournaments for sponsorship reasons, attendance, and development? Go ahead, Tactical.
Yeah, so I'm actually a good person to talk about this because I do follow the CONMEBOL very closely due to Brazil. I know all 10 nations there very well, and I follow the CONCACAF for obvious reasons as well. So there's two things. There's a difference between doing a tournament and having guest nations, and there's a difference between doing a merger. I think doing a merger is complete nonsense. It's stupid, and I saw some people talking about that idea. It won't work. I can talk about the issues with it, but doing a competition with guests, it's not a new idea. It happened already a few times. We've had the Copa America with Jamaica played, the U.S. played, Mexico has played. We played the last one as well. I like that idea. I think it's interesting. It adds a new dynamic to CONMEBOL, and CONMEBOL has only 10 nations, so they do need more. Now, CONCACAF, I'm totally against it. I am against the Gold Cup having guests. We have 41 nations in CONCACAF. You need to give opportunities to all of them to play so they can make money and invest. When you bring in Qatar, you're taking a spot away from a CONCACAF nation. Now, CONMEBOL, when they do the Copa America and they bring guests, they don't take away any CONMEBOL nation because they only have 10.
10, right.
I'm okay with CONCACAF nations being guests in Copa Americas. I'm not okay with bringing it to Gold Cup.
Because it limits the attendance and the
well, I don't want to take a spot. Let's say Curacao is not in this Gold Cup, right? They got pulled off and Guatemala came in.
Right.
We could have had another CONCACAF nation here rather than Qatar. And that would be more money for a CONCACAF nation to invest in the sport and CONCACAF grow rather than Qatar. Who needs Qatar here? I mean, obviously, if you can bring like Brazil or Argentina to the Gold Cup, you're going to get more money because the world will want to watch it.
Right.
But we got Brazil in the 90s to play in the Gold Cup, but it's not easy to get Brazil and Argentina here.
Yeah. All right. Final question before you go, because we want to respect your time. Why is it that they make it that the US and Mexico can't meet until the final you think that's unfair to the smaller countries to have a chance of winning, knowing that we only had 3 winners: Canada, US, and Mexico?
I mean, they didn't make it, right? If the US finished in second, or Mexico, whatever it was, they would have faced each other earlier. So it's just because they topped their groups. I don't think, maybe CONCACAF tried to set it up in that way. I don't know. I can't confirm it. But they don't control that. The US could have finished in second, and then they would be in the same bracket as Mexico. So I don't know. And I don't think I mean, it gives another chance to another country, but I think the US and Mexico mostly make it to the final because, yeah, they're the two dominant countries in the region, right? It's like in Copa America. Mostly it's Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay as well. There's dominant countries in every region.
Right, right. Somebody's saying that is a conspiracy theories.
A little bit.
Yeah. All right, so definitely, it was a privilege to have you here, Filippo. It was a very good chat, as persons have alluded to in the comment section. Definitely, we'll do this again, and trust me, you're the man over there in the United States, so it was good for you to be here to talk about the whole scheme of things where the US team is concerned. Tell me your score prediction before you go.
Okay, guys, look, I'm American, so I'm just gonna go.
Yeah, give us your fair prediction, man.
2-0 United States.
2-0. So people, you heard it. 2-0. So we're gonna be holding tactical manager to that. He's saying 2-0. I do believe that based on what you would have explained, Jamaica has a chance to score on the United States. We have been creating a lot of chances, and the US will not be any exception. So I do believe that we're going to be scoring 2 goals. No, he did say that his attack is not the best, and we have some of the toughest defenders in the league. So I would say possible. Yeah, I'm going to give you one, breaching us one time. So definitely I'm going for a 2-1 victory based on what we analyzed a while ago. So I'm not just going to base the result on just because I'm a Jamaican.
It's just that making predictions for the teams that you're cheering for.
Yeah.
It's like, if I think Jamaica's going to win, I said it obviously before Gold Cup start, but now that the matchup is real and it's happening, I'm not going to say Jamaica's going to win, even if I truly believe that.
Yeah, definitely. I know, definitely. But in terms of your prediction rate, how has that been going? Have you been doing well in terms of your predictions?
Oh, it ruined. Before I go real quick, it ruined because I did the prediction before Curaçao was pulled out, before Alfonso Davies was out. So it was a mess. But I got the Canada and the Suriname. I got the matchups right, just flipped. So I got most things, but it was a mess. The prediction was a mess.
All right. So you know why I asked you that question? Because you predicted 2-0. And if I'm going by what you're saying, you will not win that game.
No, I got this. This one I got it.
All right.
Just before I go, thank you very much for having here. I like when I'm trying to get Jamaican content, I like getting different perspectives. I love going to watch your channel. I love watching JD's channel, 2 different perspectives.
Yeah.
And I'm glad also you guys enjoy Tactical Manager and 11 Yanks, also 2 different American perspectives. Even though we agree a lot, there's disagreements. And hopefully the whole CONCACAF community, not just US, not just Jamaica, more channels show up. And we can continue to grow. Luckily, we both speak English. A lot of the other countries speak Spanish.
Yeah, Spanish. Right. All right, yeah, man. Thanks again. It was a pleasure having you, man. And we'll definitely do this again. So pick up yourself, enjoy the rest of the day, and be safe at work. So there you have it. Yeah, man.
Thank you very much. I'm heading out. See you.
All right, cool. All right, so there you have it, people. The man, tactical manager, just came over here and tell us what his thoughts are in terms of the US Jamaica game. I'm certain that we're looking forward to this game. We're expecting, some great stuff. We're expecting some great stuff. Hey, people, listen, man, comments in the comment section. The man said, Dominic Poor, don't come here, don't watch him. Remember, man, he did say that once the time is right. You know what I mean? So timing is the key. Tactical manager was on our live one time, and he said that he definitely would come on to talk to us on this thing, and it didn't happen until now. So I mean, Arsenal FC saying bless up coach, checking in from Germany. Really love the show. USL is a schoolboy league. Arsenal FC, I saw that you wanted to come on, but I mean I did not see it shown that you were disconnected. So it's not like I blocked you from coming on. I saw that you wanted to come on, but probably because this let me not say that part of it. So people, I want you to drop your prediction in the comment section. I'm looking forward to this weekend TripleTreat, people. It's gonna be epic. Win, lose, or draw, it's gonna be epic. It's going to be epic. Yeah? So drop some score prediction in the comment section. We have a few more minutes here. Yeah, man. Bobby Reed has flown over with the team. He's in Houston, and it's a possibility. Yes, it's a possibility that he will start, that he will play. So keep your fingers and your toes crossed, people. Yeah. JT, big up yourself. JT, tactical manager confuses me because he is stating all the weaknesses of the US, but he still thinks they will win. Yes, Jay Taylor, that's why I made the prediction, my prediction based on what he told me. And he did qualify that also, JT, that it is as a result of him being, for obvious reasons, an American to support the team. So it's not because of his analysis of the team, but it's solely because of preference. You know what I mean? He would not come on live to vote against the United States team. So you have to understand that, JT. Yeah, man, big up yourself. If you want to jump on to the stream, we have a few more minutes, and the link is in the comment section. You can just jump on to share your few cents about this game. Balakar, Jamaica 4, US 1. Wayne Swire, Jamaica 2-1 to Jamaica. Jason 3-1 to Jamaica. 1-1, 2-1 to Jamaica. 2-2 goes to penalty. Jamaica wins. Aim 2-0 to Jamaica. Fresh God 2-1 to Jamaica. Andrew Hines 2-1 to Jamaica. Cool. See some comments, some predictions coming in. Yeah, man. Desmond Johnson 2-1 to Jamaica. My prediction have not been right all now. I won me get so far. So me I got CF 2-1 to Jamaica. The coach is there. Big up yourself, Fresh God. Yeah, Taylor. That's why he said that. Today training session I got hard to the Reggae Boyz, coach. Yeah, man. Let me see some more comment. He said that we are training US using 3 central defenders. What do you think? I mean, you can train to do it, but at the end of the day, at the last minute, you don't have to actually play that sort of position or that sort of a formation. Formation is basically there just to line up the team, but the structure is that how the players play their role. That's more critical than formation. Jamaica wins only if Maggie plays. Really? Maggie plays a few days ago and we lost, so be careful of what you're saying. But Shatta, tactical no US is suspected in some. Yeah, man, he did admit it, baller kick. He did admit it. And the man is critical of the coach. The man critical like coach. Trust me. Leslie Davis 1-1 US and Jamaica. Dukins Tenet 1-0. Boza schooling R4. Yeah, we are. Yeah, that boy. Shut up, Jamaica. If Nichols start, USA 2, Jamaica 0. Otherwise 4-0. No, I not believe that's still enough. You think we should go toe-to-toe with the USA? The USA will be coy, I believe, Karoom. I think they will be coy. They will not. But based on how they play, they will try to run at us very early to try and get a early goal. But I mean that might not work right through the tournament. You have been playing that for the past few games. There come a point when your tactics have to change. So I mean, I like Daniel Johnson in the middle. He looks very good. He makes midfield flow. DC Eta, big up yourself. Maggie played with the B team is the reason. Okay. Johnson was fantastic against Costa Rica. Hopefully, we'll see him on Sunday. Definitely. People, if you're new, Mikey Ballin, 3-1 to Jamaica, please hit the subscribe button. We are 10 subscribers away from the 8,000 mark. Please hit the subscribe button, people. If you're new. And we're eight, eight away. So if you're in the chat, people, if you're on the stream and you have not subscribed, I want you to go over, hit that red subscribe word, turn it into gray. Yeah, Andre Gray, that is going to be scoring the goals. Yeah, people, definitely. So hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and become a part of the Coaches Desk family. We've been having a wonderful time over here. We just had tactical manager, very good analyst. Well, he says he's a coach, so that makes his understanding of the game pretty good. Likewise, so definitely, man, money say I'm going to the match, coach. I wonder if Kata and others coming. I'm not sure, but man, link me up on IG because we definitely would want to get some info, some live info on the game there on Sunday. So man, hit me up on Instagram. Let me put up the Instagram thing for you to link up the desk. There is the Instagram. If you're going to the match, people, hit me up on Instagram there, where they want to send me pictures, short clips, and all of that. So, we can stay in tune what is happening. We need to hold our coach accountable. Yeah. And coach, just say Shaman. JT, big up yourself. Welcome.
Blessings. Let me turn this off, coach. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man, I hear you clearly.
All right. I was listening to a great interview with Tactical.
Yeah, man, big up yourself.
Yeah, so because I was watching the USA game, and what me I realize is, remember, coming into this tournament, nobody had USA ranked highly, like to beat, to even they said USA might reach the quarterfinals, right? I think
Mm-hmm.
USA had some weak opponents early on, and it kind of gives them a false sense of hope. Jamaica should win this game
Mm-hmm.
easily. Not saying Jamaica is gonna win the tournament, but Jamaica should beat USA.
What's you want to break that down for us when you say win this game easily? Because we have gotten games to close off and we have not done it, JT. So I want you to elaborate on that. Win the game easily
Okay.
for
All
us
right.
over here.
What USA is banking on is history. They're banking on history that they always tend to beat Jamaica. When we get our hopes up, they come in and they beat us. However, that's been the USA team. This USA team, if you see them against Canada, they struggled. They struggled.
Mm-hmm.
They were hanging on for dear
Yeah,
life.
definitely. I agree with that. I agree with that. And tactical did say to
Mhm.
Tactical did say that they had a lucky early goal, and from that it was all Canada. And even though the Canadians did not have their strong team,
Mhm.
it was all Canada.
It
So
was
so
all
continue
Canada.
with what you were saying. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it was all Canada. Again, it comes down to what our strategy against this US team. I think Jamaica can play a mediocre game and still beat USA, to be honest. And I'm very critical.
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica can play a mediocre game. I think Jamaica will beat Canada on individual brilliance and a
Mm-hmm.
great defense, because I think DK, if we neutralize DK, I don't see how USA is planning to get goals.
Mm-hmm.
I said earlier, the only way USA can break down this Jamaican team is if our left back and our right back is not functioning and they start cheating up too much, and then the strikers start playing out wide and causing us problems and having these dangerous crosses coming in where our defenders have to deal with those balls, and those balls, are 50-50. Anybody can latch on to that. But if USA is planning to play the game how they've been playing, coming down the middle and finding those true passes, I think Damian Lowe will match DK's physicality. I don't have any problem with that. I think though Liam Moore is a short play and structure, he's also quite physical. And my thing is Jamaica. The most important part of this game for me is the first 25 minutes. If Jamaica can soak up that early pressure, because the United States tends to start very fast.
Right, right.
So this is why I wouldn't start taxi in this game. I wouldn't start taxi in this game slowly on the fact that I don't want my left back cheating up too high, because we know
Mm-hmm.
especially if we have Bobby Reed back, we will have enough people. We'll have enough striking force up front, to balance them out, to keep them on the back foot. So we want our CDM. That's why I would start Bell and let Bell just stay in his role and play his role, and just bring that cohesiveness in the back line and absorb that first 25 minutes of pressure. And I think then Jamaican individual brilliance will kick in, where Corey Burke is going to put a lot of pressure on their defenders. Um, Hopefully Shamar doesn't start. I'm not a Shamar hater either, guys. We just know that the player is not in form. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
can agree. Just let him sit and get his feet back in the game. But let's get players out there who's in form, because this is a finals. You lose, you go home. It's a finals. We don't have another game after this.
Yeah, definitely. I think you're perfectly right. And Tactical did say, JT, that this US team, you can't give them any space in the early exchanges of the game, because
Okay.
once you do it, you're going to be in a predicament, because somehow,
Yeah.
as if persons on who used to play football or who are coaches, that it's very easy, and Tactical Manager was also alluding to that as well. It's easy to set up a defensive structure,
Mm-hmm.
easy to move into space and defend your territory, whether
Yeah.
mid block or low block, right? Very easy to construct. But when it moves over to the attacking press, because there are a lot of dynamics to that,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be very difficult for teams, to break down a low block, especially if you're not a Man City or a Barcelona, and they also struggle where that is concerned. So I
Yes.
mean, we don't want the US to get an early one, and then we're going to be fine wanting, because even though with our frail midfield, quote unquote, we have been creating several chances. It's just for us to the forwards to convert them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So definitely that's how it is. I see Balakar is taking you on now, JT. You see anybody talk about Boza?
Yeah.
This man is his defender. Now, persons are saying that he is Boza in a different name.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So Boza have two things going for against him right now. His
Hmm.
behavior the last game, he should be penalized.
Yes.
That's not a good look for the country. On national television, like that was just like, bro, that was disgusting. Like you just feed into the narratives about Jamaicans that we're angry. If he behave like that against the opponent, I have no problem with that. That's football. The tension gets high. But if your coach is if your coach on the sideline is saying, Shamar, you're not taking this free kick. Your captain is saying, let someone else take the free kick, and you're behaving like that,
Hmm.
he's letting, because what's happening to Shamar Nichols, he feels like time is running out against him, basically. I think
Yeah.
time is running out against him, because you know what? After this Gold Cup, the squads that they're gonna choose for possible friendlies is gonna be very precise based on where they're trying to go for the qualifiers.
Hmm.
So if they don't see you as a person who's gonna be in the setup, now is your chance. That's why
Yes.
players like Lamar Walker, I question them being in the team, but I think it's good that they're in the team to show that, listen, you got your opportunity, my friend. You got your opportunity. Now the ball game will get a little bit bigger. You have to go step your game up and give somebody else a run. The positives from this Gold Cup, we see what we need to work on. Everybody realize we cannot go on trying to use Michael Hector and Speedy. We can't have this debate after this. I hope after this Gold Cup, this is the last time we're debating about these
But
two players.
But JT, let me ask you, because you know there's a divide. There's a big divide in the JT, especially with the statistical evidence that is out there where Michael Hector is concerned,
Mm.
where even Cataract alluded to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Hector makes a difference on the field of play. So there's a divide out there in terms of how he play. Even tactical manager just alluded to it that he's good for CONCACAF. He's not an exceptional player, but he's good for CONCACAF.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, he's not the answer if you ask me. But I mean, he has been having an okay tournament so far. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Hector to me is a safety net for Jamaica because Hector is so.
Hold on the JT. People, guess who jump onto the stream? Bala car. But Bala car, you have to turn on the camera. I'm not sure. Me never see it yet, you know, so I don't know if I you are the real Bala car or what. So you have to turn on before me hit the button to take you out of the waiting room. So
All right,
so
man.
so Ferran Fresh got and Dre Bala car in a waiting room. I mean you are gonna go on. Let me see if I'm gonna turn on him camera.
Turn on the
Continue
camera,
JT.
man.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, as I was saying, Michael Hector for me is a safety net for Jamaica because if you look at the last game, if we lost when we saw was it we saw Damian Lowe look like he picked up a little needle. Who was your next best option coming off the bench? If you're still gonna keep protect Liam Moore from a yellow card, you have to be Michael Hector. I feel like Michael Hector is that safety net that you keep on the bench. If you lose any one of those center backs, I don't think Jamaica will miss a beat having Michael Hector coming in playing center back. But I think the problem that a lot of people are having is him starting. However, Michael Hector is not there to play pretty football, guys. Michael
Hmm.
Hector is on the field to do the work that nobody wants to do. He's there to do that dirty work. So I think people are expecting this flashy. I don't know a flashy CDM. I don't know a flashy CDM.
That's true. That's true.
A CDM is the man who
Unless
goes
it's
out
a
there.
deep line creative one.
Yeah, yeah,
That like a Pirlo with a lot of skills and he moves the ball. So you might find a few, but you're
mhm,
you're right. The majority of them just do the work in the middle of the park and that's it. They're
yeah,
there to do a job. That's it.
yes. The last game I said if you're gonna start a Maggie, you have to start Hector because Maggie is not gonna tackle. Maggie is gonna lose the ball and he's not gonna tackle. This is the game that
Hmm.
you need
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
a Hector. No, the next game, why
somebody
I
said somebody said dirty work, garbage collector. That is Hector.
yeah,
Come on, man, people. Nobody do Hector, sir. Hector has been playing good for the thing so far. So people, Balakar, if people don't give an exception, you can come back on the live. You don't have to turn on the camera. But guess what? We know why you get out of hand and you know talk what you don't talk. So well, you're there long enough to understand the rules of the coaches this live stream. So
I'm gonna do
jump
the
on
right
again
thing. I'm gonna do the
and
right
make we
thing.
hear what you say Balakar. Yeah, go ahead,
Balaker,
JT.
Balaker, I gonna do the right thing, man. Because him knowing, as we're saying, we can disagree, now, guys, but it's because we're all Jamaican fans why we're on here.
Yeah,
At the
yeah,
end of the day, we
definitely.
just have a different idea of how the team needs to get to where we need to go.
Exactly. And you said it right. And that's why I asked tactical manager the question, you know. This man, the man say he's one of the most critical. The man grade him coach, 3 man game coach. You understand? And the man is very critical of the players. Very
Mm.
critical. I think the part of it though that is different is that we kind of we are more gesticulative and we're more passionate, so our emotions will come out in us talking, so it might seem like it is a fight or a quarrel or something like that, but that's not the case. The same way these other vloggers are talking about their team, the same thing we are doing. And like we often say on this program is that we will talk. The only thing is that we don't want to be slandering any players because that can be libelous. You understand?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the only difference.
That's
We
true.
just
That's
talk with a
true.
little more passion than others. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
And even I even hear sometimes I run into people and I
Mm-hmm.
have to explain to them, like they will try to interpret Jamaicans' passion for anger. They tend to think we're they've never been at a shop place and hear a man sound like some man at war, but they're friends. It's just the
Mm-hmm.
passion that comes out about the sport or whatever topic they're talking about. So it's like people just need to not take things personal, guys. I know, say, yo, some of the anger we I feel too is the years of losing, bro. Losing can build up a lot of anger in you. When we know
Mm-hmm.
that it's the simple things we need to tweak. And we're thinking, if you have a coach that you're paying to do that job, and we are just people watching the game and we can see these things, what are you getting paid to do? If we're just fans and we can see this thing, and you are there with the players and you can see the players' ability to make the right moves. That we have to question your thought process. That's all we're doing here. We're questioning the thought process. Look, we're going into a quarterfinal game right now, and people are
Mm-hmm.
wondering if Shamar Nichols possibly could still start. And look at
Mm-hmm.
his form.
Yeah, yeah.
Where does that stems from? It stems from the lack of confidence we have in our coaches' decision. That it stem from, because in any coach would I say this player is out of form, we're gonna start the next striker up. But based on Tapper's past actions, people are saying, say Tapper might just run out with Shamar again. This is what we're feeling, guys. So this is
But
where the
but but
frustration comes.
don't you think, Taylor, that he has a very well, I don't want to say very good. Don't you think he has a good record against the United States?
We beat the United States 3 times, coach.
Hmm. In
That,
terms
that's
of
a,
scoring, for him.
oh, you're talking about Shamar?
Hmm.
Well, he scored a spectacular goal against the United States. That Shamar Nichols that scored that goal against the United States is not the Shamar Nichols in the Gold Cup right now.
Hmm. Because also he has been having a not so good season at his club as well.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
think that spill over into the national team.
yeah. I don't know if something is going on with him mentally, because
Hmm.
like his behavior looks like it's a bit more rambunctious. It's just all
Or,
over the place to me.
or he's hiding something why he's behaving the way he's behaving.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
he going
yeah,
through something?
yeah, yeah.
Because I saw him on a live, himself and Liam Moore, and he said one thing. He said that I really respect. The man say he listens to what persons are saying in terms of the criticism, and he used it as a stepping stone for him to improve. So I do believe that that was a very good statement from him. So obviously he wants to make a change. We're not certain if anything is happening in his life personally. So I was saying, Taylor, for the coach to have I'm certain that the coach would have done that. But I'm
Mm.
just putting it out there that situations like these, like a Leon Bailey and a Shamar Nicholson, who has not been having quote unquote a good game so far. Game one, he scored a goal. Game two, he got a lot of chances, missed them. That was just one game. I mean, I don't. I think sometimes we are blowing it out of proportion because Shamar Nicholson before has been playing well for Jamaica. You know what I mean? But in terms of that, what I do, I would definitely take my players who are quote unquote underperforming and talk to them, get into their heads, because you see, this thing is a mental thing. Is it a case where you want reassurance for the coach to reiterate the fact that he's a very good player, he can do it and all of that? Because you have to get in your players them heads at some point in time, one on one,
Yeah,
definitely.
I think I don't know if Jamaica travels with a psychologist. I think a lot of big teams does have a psychologist.
Yes.
It
And
is for the psyche of the team and the players to check their temperature, to know where they are mentally, because they are also humans. They are people who still have problems with them baby mother, with them their
mm-hmm,
dad, with them. There's things outside the games. Sometimes we see these people as gladiators, where we just see them in the ring and we say, go out there and perform. We need your best performance. But that's when a player has to be honest with himself as well.
mm-hmm,
That's when a player has to be honest with himself. We talked about the fact that there was some misunderstanding with the push off with Andre Gray, and we saw that Andre Gray was trying to give the man a gesture coming onto the field, and Bosta go like this to the man. That's on camera again. Like guys, we keep seeing these things, and I'm telling you, what's happening to Shamar Nichols is them saying Jamaica sometime careful what you wish for. He said that he's okay with the competition coming in from England. I think the competition is getting to him now. I think he knows there are strikers over his back, because if Andre Gray is pushing
Yeah,
him
but
this
but
hard,
but 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 um, when you look on it still, would he be worried of Gray right now? Because Gray hasn't scored. He got chances. He has not scored. He got chances, and at least he put away one. So, do you really think that he's worried about the competition that is there presently?
yes, because of the fans. The fans are calling for Andre Gray, and Andre Gray is not scoring. If the fans are calling for someone who's doing something that you consider to be the same as what you're doing, that tells me you're falling out of favor with the fans. So one, you're falling out of favor with the fans. Two, you're not scoring goals. Three, you're being boisterous on the field and acting out. You're just creating strikes against yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. He's doing things that are not, that's not aiding his purpose. Shamar Nichols, I think too, he had high expectation of himself for this tournament, but he's not in physical shape. To me, he looks sluggish. He's not that Shamar Nicholson that scored that brilliant goal against the United States. When I saw that player, I was one of the players was like, this is the guy for the future. The first game, I was like, why is Shamar looking like so unhealthy? Like like he's not in football shape. I didn't know what was happening. He just looks slow, we don't want to compare him to Gray because they're not the same kind of
Mm-mm,
strikers.
mm-mm.
Gray's a more heavy ball possession, um, time
Pull up
his runs.
play.
Shamar give you that burst sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
goes up and win the headers, dominate. Shamar hasn't won a header for Jamaica in the past two games. He hasn't. And these are the things that people are saying. We're missing that thing from Shamar Nicholson that we are expecting. What I'm saying is if Andre Gray is pushing Shamar Nicholson to behave like this, when a Mikel Antonio and a, and a Kimar Roof come into the team, what Shamar Nicholson is thinking right now, he might not even be in the squad.
Mm-hmm. But but
That's
but
what I'm
hear this, hear this, hear this. JT, I hear your point, and your point is taken. But when we ask tactical manager about that he said that having Burke starting is probably not a good idea because remember the United States have a lot of MLS players in their starting lineup, and it might be a situation where they know this type of player, and that it would be easily for them to break down these plays and all of that. What say you on that one?
Nonsense. Nonsense. I think that's gonna give Corey Burke the opportunity to dominate those players like he has been doing. He has been dominating these players this season in the MLS. Corey Burke is not. Corey Burke is just a player right now where his confidence is sky high. You can see it when he run when he go out there. I think he has a look on him like I can take on anybody and I can get what I need to get done no matter who's back there. It's when a player is in that mind frame, him can run through a wall for you. So I don't think an MLS player is gonna come out there and throw Corey Burke off his game. That's nonsense to me. The USA is gonna need real defenders on Corey Burke. That's what he should have said to you. They're gonna need a real defender on Corey Burke out there. However, Corey Burke starting up front by himself, he can end up losing steam at some point because he goes very hard early on. He goes very hard early on. But one thing that I think Corey Burke brings to the team, he's the only one who's been crossing the ball in to the box. How strange is that? He's the only one who's been crossing the ball in the box. So I hope this is where it comes back down again, coach, where I'm trying to say to how important it is for a substitution from our coach. If Corey Burke is not producing, we might not need to take Corey Burke off. We might not need to take another player off and team Corey Burke up with a Andre Gray and create a different shape, a different look. We don't want you have to just switch a player for a player because that's the right thing to do. We need him to evaluate what the player's capabilities are and then match them up. Because that's what's beating Jamaica now, is the combination of players on the field at the same time. That's the problem that Jamaica has. It's not chemistry. It's not that. It's the combination of players on the field at the same time. The other night, when you put on Corey Burke and Shamar, keep Andre Gray on the park and bring on Corey Burke. Keep a clinical finisher on the park and somebody who's a workhorse. You're going to bring on somebody who's not clinical and a workhorse. That's just backward thinking. It's common sense.
Man, that's true. That's true. Persons who are saying that they want shirts, basically what we want to do, people, we want to reach the landmark of 10,000 first before we start to roll out any sort of merch. All right. So we don't want to jump the gun first. We just want to take our time. We put in plans in place for all of that to happen. Um, we started with 2 shirts, 3 shirts already. But I mean, before we reach that, we're gonna probably have new designs or stuff like that. So let's get to the 10,000 first, then we talk about shirts, right, Chatter? So please remember to tell your friend. JT, you the man say?
Yeah.
The man said, suppose God come before 10K. Well, if he come before 10K, I just so it have to go.
It's just 10K. Nothing else really matters then, right?
Exactly.
It's a
So
win-win
yeah,
for
man,
everybody.
big up yourself, people. Thanks very much for the support. Dre, anyway, that big up yourself. And people want to go over to Dre's channel right now and get him to 1,000. Please, quickly, get Dre to 1,000 subscribers right now. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, Dre, anyway. So if you're not subscribed, just get over there now and or after the stream and support the thing. All right. So I'm gonna look for the link and drop it in the comment section.
Yes.
So you were saying, JT, the
Yes.
hunger of Bobby Reed. That's
No.
what you were saying.
Corey Burke. Corey
Corey
Burke.
Burke. Yes, go
The
ahead.
hunger. But for me, I, I think people keep complaining about um Michael Hector and Speedy. Guys, somebody have to come on for the bench, you know. Like we can't start everybody. And if we start Michael Hector, we know what we're gonna get from Michael Hector. Then we can inject Speedy Williams in the game further on if things are not working. If you want to have a different shape, I don't understand why people don't understand. Say, yo, just like me, I was rooting for Junior Fleming, but after watching Junior Fleming's that last game, I realized that, to be honest to myself, Junior Fleming looks better coming off the bench, giving you that
Mm-hmm.
20-minute burst.
I think so too.
Yeah, he's not consistent over 90 minutes. And he's struggling with an ego problem as well. I think that goal kind of got to him, where he's overreaching his potential as well, because that last shot he took, just pass the ball in the box. Pass the ball in the box. He's going for another heroics or whatever I call it. It doesn't, them lightning really strike 2 times in the same place. So his ego, I think, got the best of him, where he think, say, if you score right, yes, and take it again. No, no, do the right thing. Stick to the coach's plan. You had a good build up. Pass the ball. Pass the ball into the box and give your strikers opportunity. My problem now, coach, that I'm scared of going into this next game is Alvas Powell. Alvas Powell, to me, is the big risk in this team going forward. Because if Alvas Powell cheats up too much, I would start Adrian Mariappa the next game. I would start Adrian Mariappa in the right back. Because we see what a rash decision from a right back can do. The rash decision from the right back the last game gave Costa Rica the game winner, where O'Neill Fisher just come and lose his mind and do something mad, like him just do just a madness and just kick. I don't know what he did. I think an English player in that position would have just calm and relax and maybe kick the ball out. And I think this is where we don't have the opportunity for players to make those rash decisions. We don't have another game to adjust that. So we need good decision makers out there. And Mariappa, to me, Mariappa is always making the sure pass. He's not doing too much than what he's capable of. And I think sometimes Alvas Powell gets caught out of position. And I think he will be the one to allow DK to start getting some traction in the back if he plays too high. And that's my issue with Alvas Powell starting the next game.
All right, so the people who wants to know the person online that is talking is JT or J Taylor.
Yeah.
This man always over Ryan LFC channel, Ryan
Yeah.
LFC resident panelist. So big up to JT. Dre, the man then say you promise you're gonna give a them video every day, and that is not happening right now. So you have to step up on that. See, Dre?
Yeah, yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I think though this game against US, is it why military gonna do a video this morning though. I'm rate that video there, about the mental aspect of the game. Because you see sometimes even in playing football teams, you see once you say you go play a Georges, it's like the fuck say a Georges or a JC. Your vibes already dead because you go up against a big team.
Yeah,
You
facts
know what I
true.
mean? And so because we are go up against a US team, wonder if the vibes from the players are like, US, or it could be a case where on the reverse is that, yeah, man, we beat this a USA team already, a strong USA team, So, I mean, let's talk about us taking charge of this quote unquote C team. So it really could be a thing of a mental, the whole psychological part of it. I trust that they will climb that hurdle if that is the case, because the history is always sometimes right in football. I mean, I know some people say history and sports. I've done a little survey. I mean, really to say work. You see, even against the Costa Rica team, you notice we did not put away our chances, and hence we end up on the losing end. So I don't want to really say it, but we don't have a good record against US in quarterfinals. We don't have a good record against US. So I mean, if we want to better that, we have to get our fourth win against them. What say you?
Let me just clear this up. I don't think this Jamaican team is looking at US as a C team, by the way. I think this is a YouTube thing. I think this is from YouTube analysts. I don't think any
No
coach in
man.
there.
Well, if Jamaica not looking at it, this is
Yeah,
not the strongest US team, and that's we hear
fair
it
enough,
from the
bro.
man himself, tactical manager. Based on the players, when last have you seen the US using so many MLS players?
I agree with you,
So
coach. But
definitely, yeah.
what I'm saying, coach, if you were the coach coaching your team, you're not even talking anything about B team or C team. You're telling your team, listen, guys, we have the United States next, and we have to prepare to beat this team. What I'm saying is the C team thing is more a thing on YouTube where people are who knows their players and know the country and saying this is not our strongest team. But Jamaica is not going out there thinking like that. Jamaica is going out there thinking we have United States in front of us and we have to beat them. I don't think our team is gonna let down their focus and say we're going out there against a C team. You're in the quarterfinals against a C team. So how good are you? You lost your last game. They won their 3 games. So I don't think Jamaica is going in there. You can't go in there with that mindset. Somebody in the chat said, if you start Mariapa, he's slower. What I'm saying, guys, when players tend to get, you can see when players get older, they tend to know their bodies more and make better decisions. They won't push themselves too much than what they're not capable of. And I think Mariapa will more go for security. What Mariapa gives you in that back four is he gives you flexibility because Mariapa can do what Hector does. Because if I'm going to start Mariapa, I would start Speedy Williams. That's what people don't understand. I wouldn't start Mariapa and Hector because Mariapa and Hector can give you the same thing. They can slide into that central, the center back role if one of your defenders push up. Mariapa can slide in if low push up. So I wouldn't start a Michael Hector. I would because I would Mariapa can play that flexible role that Michael Hector plays. But I'm saying if we're gonna start a person like Alvas Powell, Michael Hector starting is a guarantee. We have to have him as a safety net out there. We can't have Speedy Williams and Alvas Powell out there because we saw what happened with Junior Flemings and Kemar Lawrence. last week. Those two players were on in no man's land constantly. Joel Campbell had that right side for himself. You just see Jonah Fleming scrambling back just to get into position. And sometimes I look and say, where is Taxi? Did Taxi sub himself? Like he's not in the left back position. So I think we need to have Amari Bell out there because Amari Bell doesn't really give you much on the attacking end, but he keeps it safe back there. And we need a safe back line to absorb that early pressure. And I would go for Mariappa and evaluate the game from that. If you don't think Mariappa is being effective enough from that right back, then you bring in Alvas Powell. You have 5 substitution, but you don't want to start off the game risky. You want to start off the game with assurance and then you evaluate and interject players from there. That would be my strategy.
So what would be your lineup then?
My
What
lineup would be
be
back
be?
four,
Go ahead.
back four low, more Mariapa Bell. Since I'm starting Mariapa right back, I would start Speedy, Daniel Johnson, and Bobby because what Maggie wasn't giving you on the defensive end, I think Bobby Reed will come back a little deeper sometimes in the midfield to help Daniel Johnson and shore up that midfield. So I would go with starting um Speedy to keep the ball on the ground more and more ball to feet more than what Michael Hector would give you. So if I'm starting Murray up, I would start Devon Williams, DJ, and I would start Bobby Reed. So this is where the problem comes in from, is Corey Burke and Turgot because those two players are going to determine how Jamaica looks up front. Um, Based on what I'm seeing from Turgot, he gives you a good first half, a good first 45 minutes, very direct. We might just need that on the counter attack against the US team if they start pressing us. We might need him to break and take it down the link. But then you're going to have Corey Burke as a lone striker up front. So if I'm going to start Turgot, I would have to start Andre Gray and leave out Corey Burke and Leon Bailey on the right. So that's where we are. Or we can possibly go with Burke on the right and Andre Gray up front. But I wouldn't want to see Corey Burke as a lone striker.
All right,
I would want
cool.
to, yeah.
Yeah, man, that's not bad in terms of that. So how do we employ a winning strategy against this USA team? Because first and foremost, you made mention of curtailing them or containing them in the first 25. After we have done that, how do we hit them and hurt them?
I think our natural game will hurt them. As I said, I think this and Jamaica has one thing going for them. The players right now, a lot of the players don't have the traumas of losing to a United States team. So they're coming out, they're fearless. A player like Daniel Johnson, Bobby Reed, Turgot, Leon Bailey, a lot of these guys are coming out, they're fearless. It's not the old Jamaican teams that constantly got beat by the USA. So I don't think we'll be afraid to take them on. I don't think we will be afraid to take them on. But I think Jamaica's natural game will give us goals in this game. I think our natural game, our natural build up, keep in shape, we are more physical than this United States team. Because I think United States, they haven't faced anything team like Jamaica in this tournament yet. This is gonna be the most physical game they play. And this is gonna be against this Jamaica team. So how is United States gonna deal with the physicality from Jamaica? That's something they have to deal with. United States also don't know which Jamaican team they're gonna play against. Is it the team that played Costa Rica, or is the team that started the tournament? So they have a lot of homework to do. Basically, they're gonna be doing a lot of last minute adjustments when they see our starting lineup. They're depending on our starting lineup to basically come up with a game plan because they don't know how
You
we're gonna
think
play.
so? But you see, I'm not worried, because hearing from what tactical manager is saying is that the the players, well, not the players, the coach at from the United States coach, he's not one to really trust in terms of team selection, in terms of tactics and all of that. So I don't think we have much to worry about in this game. Not much at all.
I said that to you the first thing I came on your thing.
Mm-hmm.
I said the first thing I said this game. I you know what's crazy? If Jamaica, if trend, if the trend, because as I said to you, Vegas, like odds on betting, they have
Mm-hmm.
United States as a 4-point favorite over this Jamaica team,
Mm-hmm.
which I think that is way off. I think that's based on win record and past patterns. This Jamaica team, this Jamaica team, if they click for 45 minutes, USA pick up 3-1. If Jamaica team click for 45 minutes and take our opportunities, USA could be looking at being down by 3 goals by 60 minutes in the game. But if it's the same where we're not taking our opportunities, this game could be an overtime game. We might need extra time to hash this thing out.
Yeah, I wish to God that we score our goals, man. Because for a team that quote unquote doesn't have a solid midfield and we're creating so many chances, all we need to do is put them in the onion bag and carry the onion go market simple. You know
That's
what
why
I
it's
mean?
important, coach, to start Andre Gray again.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think he just barely got his feet wet because he only had 9 minutes the first game, guys. Let's remember that Andre Gray is playing with a whole new team the last game. He's playing with
Yeah,
a whole
definitely.
new
Yeah.
team.
True. Solid point that you're making.
Yeah. And his chances, I hear people say Andre Gray missed chances. Andre Gray only had one clear-cut chances. He created one for himself where he beat the defender by the sideline and almost beat the keeper at the near post. People need to stop act like the next team don't have a goal in at the goal, brother. The man saved the ball. That's what the goalkeeper is there for. He saved the goal. So Jamaica could have been up one. The goal that Andre Gray missed, that we expected Andre Gray to bury, was the one he hit on the crossbar. The other one, he was in a bad angle and he didn't make. But I think he should have kept his composure, possibly, and controlled that ball that he missed hit. That's
Rather
what
than
we
a
expect.
rush.
Yes, that's what we. It was a rush of blood,
Mm-hmm.
basically. So, and that came from not playing enough, I
And
think.
and also still, I think one of the reasons why he possibly would have rushed
Yeah.
is that he wanted to score so much to
Much.
prove
Yes. Yeah. He
prove
wanted to score.
to the team that I can do this too.
He's
You know what I mean? So I think that was one of the issues or reasons why he rushed that first shot because he could have controlled the ball at that bad angle.
he
He
could
could
have.
have controlled the ball and placed it. You
He
see
could
what I'm
have. He
saying?
could have. And we expect that from Andre Gray. We expected Andre Gray to I won't agree with Formula Sports saying he missed three clear cut chances, coach. You can see the one that he made that quick foot move, that he made something out of nothing. He makes something out of nothing and the keeper saved it at the near post. The one that he mishit, that's a clear chance. I would say that's one. So I would say two. He missed two chances where he should have kept his composure. The one he hit the crossbar, and that one he missed two clear chances.
The one against Guadeloupe, though, Formula, you think that was a missed chance because the goalkeeper really closed him down? It was a save from the goalkeeper rather than a missed chance.
Oh, they're talking about the game before that?
Yeah, the Guadeloupe one. Both games he's talking about.
Oh God, man. Come on, man. I wouldn't say that. But however, um strikers miss things, coach. He just didn't have the playing time under his belt and he didn't have the chemistry with the players. And this is where the chopping and changing affect us. Because here we are, is it 4 days from the game? And we don't know who's gonna start. 4 days from the game. We don't know who's gonna start the game. And the players out there probably don't know who's gonna start either. So we need consistency, coach. We need consistency, brother. We need consistency. Let's just get some consistency in this team. Let's start Gray. Let's start Gray again, but we need to find a way to get Gray and Corey Burke on the pitch at the same time.
That's what I'm foreseeing in a Taylor. So Formula, you don't think that Gray should start? And the question is not being asked because I think that's what you're saying. I'm just asking you the question. Big up yourself, Ryan LFC.
Big up, Ryan. Yeah, yeah. It should start again.
I am looking to a Corey Burke and a Andre Gray, some sort of partnership, because it no look bad.
Yeah, it don't
It
look
no
bad.
look bad at all. You
And if
understand?
Corey Burke is the one only one giving us passes, crossing the ball into the box, why not start
Mm-hmm.
Corey Burke out on the
Yeah.
left? He's the only one crossing the ball in the box. Start him.
Mm-hmm.
Start him on the left. He's basically playing as a winger in a way. So start him.
All right. He's saying that if it's a lone striker, Burke for him. Big up yourself, and Jeremy, and welcome. We only have about 5 minutes to go, people. So we're closing off early. I have something to go and take care of. So we're closing off in 5 minutes. Yeah, Jeremy, and welcome.
Yeah, man, we are going to coach catch me half guard with the one.
Oh,
That's
you
true,
mean?
man.
Oh, yeah, man. We did advertise it from something there, you know. From yesterday. Tactical manager was on. We did a live with tactical manager talking about the US and the Jamaica game. So that's why we were on. We have to catch him when he's available, you know.
Oh, Zeno.
Yeah,
That
man.
sounds good, man. Sounds good. But Corey, you know, well,
Hold on. D. Ellsworth, you notice when me answer the question, me say if it is a situation now, based on how Nicholson would have had play against United States. But for me personally, it's not really changing the narrative. For me, I would love to see Burke and Gray on the field. For record, US, I think Shamar would have had a good, quote unquote, good record against them, as well as the coach. So would have started at the time when the question was asked. So that's what I was referring to. But for now, Burke, Gray would have wants it on the field. If either of them not doing well, may I make the substitution early. Simple.
And coach, I think Theodore Whitmore need to give himself the option of taking off Leon Bailey early if he's not playing well. We can't have a player holding a position hostage. No, you have to give yourself that option, because then now we start complaining about Corey Burke being on the bench. And if this man is not playing well, we have to have Turgot on the pitch and Corey Burke then. We can't just have Leon Bailey a spinning like gig out there and a run into players. We have to give ourselves that option around the 60th minute. If Leon Bailey is not effective, we have to get him off the park. We can't use his name to continue
well,
with
I
the team.
would I play Leon on the left still and Burke on the right with Green at the head. Maggie behind them. Something that Bobby come back, right?
Yeah.
Timothy, I think say Bobby is back. I don't know how he stay, but
Yeah, he has traveled with the team, so it's a possibility.
but I tell you, I still know. You see, now at the first 10 minutes in the game, whenever they get nothing because both team was unsettled. But after that, the link up play, the short passes and all of that in a coach. In the last part of the game, Maggie Bono was still in the but that is what we are really looking for. Those short passes, turn, move, go into space and thing. You get me? We got that from him. But why? We should have seen them chances, man. Should have won this game.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. But that is behind us. I think we should be looking forward towards this US team. You know what I mean?
Only positive come from that game, though, man.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Positive. But even though we lose that game, I thought that was the best game that Jamaica played from the competition
The
start. Even
competition,
though we
yeah.
lose that game.
Yeah, man.
Even though from back to front, I can see something worth watching.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, if England can substitute Raheem Sterling, you don't think Leon Bailey can get sub sometime too?
Of course, but at the end of the day, I believe so. But at the end of the day, what I heard is that the coach knows Leon's talent and is a man who can show up a moment of brilliance, even in a situation where he probably would have been having a bad game.
So we just
You know what I mean?
we're
But it,
hoping then.
yeah, so it's definitely most times up to the coach. It's not a hard and fast thing for me. Me take off player if I feel when me think them are farm full of themselves. Yeah, when they come on to a ball game in a play, but everybody temperament different.
I,
Everybody
I,
deal with them thing differently.
I think if the other wingers them still were really stepping up the release and a push for the spot, you could have a different story. But for right now, still, even though him not perform, the same thing what coach was saying can have a moment of brilliance. You know, probably them look on you and say, yo,
Yeah,
John, we're gonna take him off and them you get me? So
yeah, man.
I
It's
wanna
it's hard for some him still, you know. But I mean, hard for some him, man. Because when they take him out, who you gonna put on?
No,
That
all
you
right.
have to look
we are
through.
Scenario.
we are pro,
Biggie a
we are
scenario.
we're really a perform right now.
Biggie a
Mm-hmm.
scenario now, coach.
Mm-hmm.
You started Leon Bailey in his normal position, Blair
Mm-hmm.
Turgot, and you have Corey Burke up front. We're down 1-0, 60 minutes in the game. Leon Bailey ineffective. Blair Turgot is getting traction on the right hand side. Bobby Reed is making an impact. Corey Burke is fighting for the ball. You're telling me not Corey Burke, Andre Gray is fighting for the ball. You're telling me like a Corey Burke couldn't come in for Leon Bailey? Then there's no possibility here for that then. So then we have
So
to
say
take
a
off on the
Corey Burke would come in for Leon Bailey. That's what you said.
yeah, and maybe slide a Bobby Reed out wide or just mix up, show a different shape. What I'm
Well,
saying
if
is
you put it that when Corberg was on the bench and they're down and Leon is not performing, there's a case for Corey to come on because we
Mm-hmm.
see what he can. But if Corey is on the field and nobody else can come on, you see now that you put it that way, there's a case for Corey to come on for a Bailey. No joke about it because you
I
know what
want
you're
to.
gonna get.
And one of the things too, you know, when Leon has the ball, you know, it gives us a level of confidence and or attacking thrust. And most times he's been fouled. So it all boils down to the coach.
guys, we're not saying we agree that Leon Bailey will start. I think they're so like some other people them have like
Oh,
selective hearing.
they're misunderstanding
Yeah,
what you're saying.
yeah, they have selective hearing. They have selective hearing. Leon Bailey will start, and we say he has 60 minutes on the park, and he's not effective. And you have other players who are functioning, but we're not getting the goals.
Mm-hmm.
This player is gonna hold that position hostage based on his pedigree. This is what you're telling me. You're telling me this man cannot be removed then, because this is not about the team then. This is not a team sport anymore. This is what I'm trying to say to people. 11 players make a football team move, guys. It's not about one man and his star power. If you're not effective, you're gonna have to leave the park. You have another game. Let's win the game and you come back and start the next game. Let's win the game. And if he wants the better for the team and he knows he's not at his best, he would be happy to be removed from the park. That's being selfless. That's putting team before personal attributes, bro. So that's what I'm trying to say. We have to have all possibilities on the table as a coach, brother. You
Yeah,
can't
that's
limit yourself.
true, true. So it's kind of robotic in terms of that what you're saying because sometimes for me, I'm not seeing any rotation of the wingers and all of that consistently on the field. It's like we have a one track. But from what tactical manager said, if they play the defender and put him up against Leon Bailey, he's gonna be having a whole lot of problems around there. You know what I mean? So that is something that possibly can look into. When the game start and Leon see how the brother play and him can dismiss him easily, then take it. You know what I mean? So, gentlemen, and if there be any ladies that are on, thank you very much for tuning in. We have come to the end of this stream. It was a stream that wasn't planned. You know, normally we don't do midweek stream. We have the triple treat on weekend. Triple treat is going to be lit, people, and definitely we'll be having tactical manager again on this program for us to review the game with the United States. So look out for that. Look out for the advert where that is concerned. And definitely we're expecting, you know, a good showing come Sunday. The weekend is going to be lit, like I said, people. You know, Saturday we'll be having the pre-game, the preview. Friday, expect anything. Sunday, the watch along. I'm expecting an excellent weekend. You know what I mean? So big up to all the people who came out. Thanks for the support. We're at 8,000 subscribers. We're pushing to the 10,000 if we can. So I need like less than 2,000 subscribers, people. So tell your friend to tell your friend about Coach's Desk. Send the word out. Share the stream. Like the stream, people, so that persons will be aware of what is happening over here at the Coach's Desk. And we have some groundbreaking things in the pipeline, people. Just look out for it. We're in talks right now. I'm not going to be sharing what will happen, but we're in talks right now. And definitely you'll be hearing or seeing something to that regards. Thanks again, people. Really appreciate the support. Big up yourself. Continue to stay safe. And like we normally say, peace out. Big up to JT for stopping by. Big up to Jermaine for stopping by. And also big up to Tactical Manager who stopped by earlier today. Bless upon yourself.
Bless up.
Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.